What is up, Colts Nation? I am Josh Hudgens with the Common Colt Podcast, a Colts show where we talk Colts football in 10 minutes or less. So let's get that timer going up there. And the Indianapolis Colts have defeated the Las Vegas Raiders. What a win it was, getting back on the right track after a slip up against the Rams. If you don't know our show, we give one-word reactions. So my one word is simple: playoffs. We are a playoff caliber team. When I watched that game against the Rams, I kind of felt it. Obviously the first couple of weeks of the season, we got the wins, and then we had some adversity and we shot ourselves in the foot, and we didn't play good football against the Rams. And to me, when you're a playoff caliber team, a true playoff caliber team, it means you can bounce back from adversity and beat the teams that you should beat. And again, what we've seen from the Colts today was what? They had a game against the Rams where they could have had a bit of an emotional roller coaster against the Raiders, came out flat and lost. And how did they play today? I mean, they played flawlessly. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. Really, it starts with Daniel Jones. Over 200 yards passing, 20 of 29, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. Was pretty accurate throughout the day, had some misses, but overall, he looked like what the hype's been all about. Indiana Jones making plays, distributing the ball. The sit-down routes looked good today in the middle of the field. We've seen a lot to Josh Downs. So shifty. So shifty Josh Downs is. Michael Pittman making plays as well. And Tyler Warren has just been as good as advertised. And I've talked about this a few times in the offseason, but when the Colts got Warren and the Bears drafted Loveland, I was just so excited because the Bears drafted on potential and the Colts got the guy who had actually accomplished something throughout his college career. And that's not to say Loveland won't be good, but what the Colts have is a proven football player making big-time plays as a rookie, and the sky is the limit for him. He's only going to get better as he develops as a player, and he showed out today. I love to see him catch a touchdown there. Jonathan Taylor, only 66 yards rushing, under 4 yards per carry, but 3 rushing touchdowns. And it felt like he should have averaged more than 4 yards per or under 4 yards per carry, but it's just how the game went, and he got the yards when he needed to. By the way, while we're talking about the offense, that play in the red zone where Jones was flushed out of the pocket and he was able to hit Pittman on the run, I mean, that was a thing of beauty. This Colts offense getting better in the red zone. Jones looking more comfortable. He's passing the ball down the field, more intermediate passes as well. I'm really liking to see the amount of depth the Colts have. Even Doolin today. Doolin looked great, I thought. Obviously, Mitchell, we've seen his punishment was real. He didn't really get much snaps until garbage time. And Doolin stepped up in a big way. He looked really explosive. Every time Doolin's on the field, I feel like he's able to make a big play, and he looks good. Like he's got serious speed and he's explosive. So I would like to see Doolin more, honestly, as the season progresses. But when you have a Pittman, when you have Downs, you have Warren, and then obviously Alec Pierce has been out, and the offense didn't miss a beat today without Alec Pierce. So I'm just so elated. The offense, in my opinion, A today. That was an A performance. That was top notch. Defense, they got dotted up last week against the Rams. And I know they kind of kept them in the game a little bit last week, but there were still so many miscues where I was not satisfied with the performance. Today, that's not the case at all. You let up under 10 points. You forced Geno Smith into a couple turnovers. Latu had a great play. You locked down that Raiders offense. Genty, 67 yards rushing, no touchdown, obviously. And overall, other than a couple guys falling down and letting up big chunk plays, the defense came to play. They helped the offense in different situations, setting up short fields. Special teams, I'm lopping with defense as well. Obviously got a punt block. I mean, overall today, the defense looked great. Another B plus to an A minus performance there. Very satisfied. And again, the Raiders aren't a great team. I think we know that. When we look at coaching, we think about team versus team. This Raiders team isn't a great team, but they do have Pete Carroll, who's a Super Bowl winning head coach. And if we're going to beat a team like the Raiders, who we're favored against, and if we're going to be a legit team, you have to put it on them. And we put it on them today. We outcoached them. The play calling, I thought, by Shane Steichen was very good today, especially on third down. We were balanced throughout the whole game and not just in certain situations, which I loved. In the red zone, we were effective. I think we had to be a little more aggressive because Schrader was out. But overall, I was very satisfied with what the team did today. Obviously I'm going to be a little curious, and we'll talk about this in a second, how our kicking game is going to look. But overall, Shane Steichen's coaching today, top notch. The defensive coordinator was top notch. We were able to contain Genty. We were able to run the ball effectively with Taylor, and we were able to get our different. We beat you again. We beat you by depth. And what Shane Steichen showed today is he's got weapons all over the field and guys who are able to play different roles. We have our possession receivers. We have our kind of shifty, quick receivers like Josh Downs. We've got our running game going. The amount of depth this team has is impressive, and Shane Steichen, it just feels like he's in his bag, right? Sending even a weapon like Quentin Nelson, sending him in motion as a pulling guard and getting Jonathan Taylor outside. These are all little things that just shows like he's got a bag of tricks, and it's just whatever he wants to do right now. He was doing it today, and I love to see that. Game ball, if I'm tossing a game ball out, one's got to go to Daniel Jones. Bounce back week. He had a couple turnovers last week, was probably his worst game as a Colt. He didn't look rattled today. He looked good. Again, over 200 yards passing, 2 passing touchdowns, distributed the ball very well. I'm just looking at all these different Colt wide receivers that got touches. Josh Downs had 6 grabs today, 54 yards. I was just very, 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 very impressed with Daniel Jones, the ball distribution, the accuracy, the not putting the ball in harm's way, putting the ball downfield in certain situations. Isn't check down Charlie, so he gets a game ball. Defensively, I'm going to give the game ball to our defensive coordinator today, honestly, Lou. I think he earns it. After last season, how bad the defense looked, to have guys like Latu in the place where he's playing out of his mind now. He's creating turnovers. He's getting pressures. They're bottling up Genty. They're doing what they should do. I'm giving the game ball to the defensive coordinator today, Lou. And Jonathan Taylor, why not, right? 3 rushing touchdowns. Didn't get over 100 yards today, but when they needed yards, when he needed to churn stuff out, he churned stuff out today. I mean, that to me was a very impressive performance by JT. 3 rushing touchdowns. Could have been 4. I think, was it Abdullah stole a touchdown from him? They might have done that just because it was against the Raiders, but what a performance there. And the outlook, right? What's next for the Colts? Well, a couple things. Obviously, we've got the Cardinals coming up. And they're a solid football team. I know they're playing. I think they're playing today. I haven't caught a score on what's happening there, but they looked good when I watched them against the Seahawks. Kyler Murray is mobile. He'll be probably one of the more mobile quarterbacks they've played so far this season. So I'll be curious how they're able to contain him. Marvin Harrison Jr. coming back to Lucas Oil Stadium. That'll be a heck of a game. And what do the Colts do with their kicker situation, right? I mean, Spencer Schrader's been he's been very solid so far this season, kicking the ball, making his extra points, only missed a field goal or 2 so far this year. So the outlook, I think, is positive, right? We won. We're looking good. We're healthy other than the kicker position, so they got to get that figured out. But overall, this Colts team, if you can walk into home again where we've played very well so far this year and beat the Arizona Cardinals, all of a sudden you're 5-1. And you got a big, big, big game with the Chargers not too long after that. This Colts team, when I look at the outlook for this Colts team, the playoffs are very realistic. And now it's, can we get the division? Can we secure a division win and have a home playoff game and possibly make a run for that number 1 seed? The Ravens aren't going to get it. The Chiefs had kind of stumbled out of the gate early. So we've put ourselves in a position where if we can win some of these games, especially the coin flip games, and beat the teams we're supposed to like we have been doing, we've got a legit shot to fight for this number 1 seed. And I know that sounds crazy to say, and it sounds like an unrealistic expectation based on last year, but we're now over a quarter of the way into the season, and the Colts aren't pretenders. If you're pretenders, you struggle against the Raiders. You struggle against the Titans. You get blown out by the Rams. None of these things happened. This Colts team is a playoff team. And this Colts team right now, if they play like they did today, balanced, distributing the football, running the ball at times, good situationally, this football team can contend for the number 1 seed in the AFC and secure a bye week and secure home field throughout the playoffs, which just blows my mind. I did not expect this when they signed Daniel Jones at all. I'll be the first to admit that I was wrong, but I'm loving every second of it. So Colts fans right now, the Colts look good. They cleaned up the mistakes. I loved what Shane Steichen did with Mitchell, not playing him much. Right now, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing from the Colts team. And hey, guys, if you like this show, just know the Common Colt podcast brings you Colts news in 10 minutes or less, and we did that for you today. Colts get a win. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.